Well, the wait is officially over for all of our Sens fans. We got TSN 1200 Steve Lloyd joining us today because finally the season kicks off tonight for our hometown team. And I think a lot of people are really excited, especially given the way that we entered and finished last year. You know, finally breaking that streak, entering the playoffs. How are we feeling about the team this year so far?
Optimistic, and there's not as much fear with the fan base of worrying, are we ever going to make the playoffs again, right? Having that team punch through, and it's the young guys that grew, and I think a lot of the fans are hoping for more growth. And it was kind of a weird preseason because they were only here once. They played their very first preseason game, then they went to Quebec City, and then everything else, St. Louis, are on the road, and they're starting on the road. They're not home until their home opener on Thanksgiving Monday, but it all gets underway tonight in Tampa.
Yeah, I think it's so awesome. And, you know, you could really feel the city become electric during that time. And I was actually away. I think I was one of only maybe 20 fans at the game one against Toronto in Toronto because I was in Kitchener. So it feels really good to be back here with the energy. But even from a distance, you could tell that the entire city and community was just feeling so good about the team's progress from last year. And again, that experience, I feel like for the young guys will carry into this year.
Well, and also the next generation of fans. It had been so long since this team's had success. Like, I'm old enough to remember the energy in that rink when they did have playoff success. And the way the city comes alive in the playoffs, when the Sens are relevant, the Sens are playing well, it brings the whole community. It transcends hockey. And we kind of forgot what that felt like, and it was so exciting. Even though it was brief, only one round, but it was a lot of fans are hoping for more of the same this year.
Yeah, and what do you think that the Senators need to do to start off the season? Because, you know, you come off those high positive vibes from the season and you come into this year. Do you think they need to come off to a hot start? Do you think there's a calmness with it? What would you like to see from the team?
I would like to see them, well, there's a lot of talk, the buzz phrase now is 5-on-5 scoring because there was so much growth last year, and a big part of that growth was keeping the puck out of their net, playing a better defensive system. So my thing is, don't lose that, but you have to score a little bit more and show some growth in that area. But it's a balance, right? You don't want to start cheating for offense because home base is how well they play defensively, and that started last year. That has to continue.
Yeah, and I feel like one of the most underrated players, Sanderson, is so good at what he does in so many different ways. Are there other players that we should keep our eye on this year? Are they looking really good coming from training camp, or maybe some underrated players that we go, all right, our team's looking good?
Well, I'm say it all the time on the radio. I'm a self-professed Sanderson honk. I think Jake Sanderson's the team's best player, period. Like, Stutz is a great player. Brady's a great player. They've got a lot of good young guys. Sanderson's probably going to be on the U.S. Olympic team. I expect him to have a fantastic season and take another step. But it's all about the internal growth. Like I mentioned, that Brady's still a young guy. Stutz is still a young guy. Sanderson's really young. Shane Pinto, we'll see if he gets a contract extension, see if he takes. But there's two guys that were added just before the trade deadline, Zetterlund and Dylan Cousins. Full training camp, you're not hitting midstream, you know, get assimilated with your group. I want to see what they look like in the top six to start the season.
And I think Zetterlund has so much potential, and you could see it towards the end of last year. You know, he wasn't getting the goals, but you could see the speed, you could see the camaraderie between the players, especially his line mates. They were kind of shuffling him around a little bit. Do you think that'll be a big component part of where they put guys to start the season and feel them out for the chemistry?
Well, it's interesting right now because Drake Batherson's injured. He's not going to play tonight. He might play coming up on Florida on Saturday. It might be very brief, but Zetterlund's going to play in the top line tonight. With Tkachuk and Stutz. So they're giving him every opportunity to succeed, putting him with their two best forwards, see what he does.
Oh, amazing. Well, there's so much excitement around that. Steve Lloyd from TSN 1200. Really appreciate your time this morning.
All right, thank you.